Hi everyone, so this is the Great Wood in Stamner Park, and I'm not sure this video is going to give you like the real scale of this, but basically the council have been in and just chopped down hundreds and hundreds, possibly thousands of trees. Some of them, as you can see, really old. I counted the rings on, well, I tried to count the rings on a tree the other day, and I mean, I think this tree was like 150 years old or something. Most of them seem to be the smaller ones, and it's you can't appreciate the scale on this video. And this area here, you know, is really a heavily wooded area, and all down there was, and they've just, you know, like I say, taken down loads of trees. And my understanding is it's in the name of, because of the ash dieback, basically. So you've got ash dieback. I think the Dutch elm thing, although it's like sort of tagged on as part of this, really the main reason they're doing this is because of the situation with the ash dieback. What worries me, because I understand that ash dieback came into this country however many years ago it was, and that it can't be, you know, there's no sort of cure for it or solution for it. And it will basically take out, I think, am I right in thinking it will take out 90% of trees, ash trees in the UK over a period of time? So, you know, it is a real thing, and I've been noticing in these woods, because I come to these woods pretty regularly, you know, I've been noticing that you know, the trees have been falling down just of their own accord, and absolutely no question about it, like loads of them. And it's been progressively getting worse, definitely have seen that. And obviously, you know, if you walk in these woods when it's windy, you gotta, you know, you're probably best not to do that, or keep your wits about you. But my brief internet research has basically said that if there's a tree that has ash dieback, you know, the thing to do is basically to leave it alone. And the only two reasons that you would not leave it alone are, one, public safety, and two is like if you need them for fuel. Well, these trees here aren't needed for fuel. So I guess the only reason that all of these trees are being chopped down is for public safety. And the only the reason that they would normally recommend that you don't cut a tree down is, firstly, it won't do anything to slow the disease down, but also it you know, so a certain number of ash trees will actually be able to survive the ash dieback, but you don't know which those are. So the best thing to do is to just not cut them down, and then, you know, the ones that survive, and that's generally a good thing. So I think that all of these trees have basically been cut down. You can see here it's got essential work, safety of our trees. There's other signs somewhere about it being to do with ash dieback and public safety. So all of these trees are basically being cut down for public safety, and actually at a cost to the trees, because I'm assuming that more trees would survive if they were just left, because I'm guessing when they chop them down, they don't know whether that particular tree would survive the ash dieback or not. I don't even know if they're targeting and identifying infected trees, or if they're just sort of taking down every ash tree that they see, or taking down a percentage of ash trees that they see. I don't know. And now obviously my as you can tell from this video, my knowledge on this subject is basically pretty low, and just, you know, comes from a bit of Googling. But my problem is that I don't, in all honesty, trust the local council to be making the right decisions here, because, you know, like somebody's getting paid to chop all these trees down, and you've always got a bureaucracy, and you've always got health and safety and all this kind of stuff, and like, oh, we've got to do this for this, that and the other. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, there's a case you can make for that, but do you have to do it? Like, could we not just put up signs saying you're probably best not very sensible to come into these woods because loads of trees are falling down, and if you do so, it's at your own risk? Or even just fence off entire sections of woodland until the problem has resolved itself. You know, or like I say, just leave it up to the public to, you know, be made aware of the dangers. And, you know, we've got an ocean out there that we haven't shut down. We let people swim in. We've got cliffs that aren't fenced off just down the coast there, you know. Because this is just horrendous. This is horrendous for the trees, horrendous for the wildlife. It's so destructive. You've got all these huge vehicles coming through. All the wood is being taken away. It's churning off. You know, look at this. It's churning off all the land. They're just going through. This was all like fairly dense woodland last summer. And now it's just decimated. And, you know, I mean, we've just had the situation where the local council have written off, I think it's over 50 million pounds that they'd lent out of the I-360, something that basically nobody wanted, that many people could foresee being a business disaster that's turned into a total disaster. They've written off the debt, sold it for an undisclosed fee, which probably means they sold it for £1. You know, and there are many other real world and anecdotal examples of our council, you know, not making the right decision, right? Not making the right decision. And I'm looking at all of this devastation, which this camera isn't bringing across very well, but it's all through Wild Park. Yeah, it's going to be more around Wild Park, Hollingbury Hill, and here, and I think some other areas. And they're just chopping it all down. They're just chopping it all down. This is just one section of a massive area of woodland. And I'm just like, are they doing the right thing? Is there anybody watching this video that knows more about this stuff than I do? You know, that can tell me, is this actually necessary? Is all of this devastation and cutting down all of these trees, is it necessary? Because I'm just like, if this is only about public safety, I don't think it is. I think that there are other options to keep the public safe that are far less destructive to the natural environment. I'm struggling to understand why we haven't just put some signs up saying you've really taken your life in your own hands if you enter these woods, guys, because all the trees are falling down. So maybe don't do that, but if you do it, it's on you. And you know, just like let nature do its thing. Let these trees fall down and let them rot into the ground, and let the animals live in the rotting trees and the critters and all the rest of it. And just let it be. Am I naive? That seems like a good choice. I mean, they didn't do anything about this for the last however many years it's been, and I've been walking through these woods, and like I say, I've noticed hundreds, thousands of trees have fallen over. There's a whole section just over there that they've completely cleared. We're not going to get to it on this video, but I mean, I used to nickname it fallen down tree wood or whatever name I had for it, because it was crazy, you know. There were just so many of them. And it's like, well, have we had incidences where trees have fallen over and killed people in these woods? Has that happened? Has it happened once? Has it happened twice? Has it been a big problem that's happened many times? Have we had injuries? You know? Like, has it actually been a thing? Or have they basically just been falling down when it's been crazy windy and, you know, people would have the good sense not to be in the woods anyway? This area that you're looking at now on the video used to be beautiful. There was a little pet cemetery area, and people had left little sort of decorations and tags and things, and now you can see it's barren and very open, but this was like densely populated with these little twisty, windy paths, and it's like all just completely. This bench was where the kind of pet cemetery was, and it's all just, it's like I'm in a completely different location, and it's just horrible. And I know that I'm sure the council will obviously, you know, they've made the decision, so they'll stand by the decision. But I don't trust our council for shit. They've made some awful decisions in Brighton and Hove over the years. Absolutely awful decisions. Countless examples of that. Countless examples of that. And I'm really worried that this is another one, and that they are destroying our local woodland. Our local woodland is just being decimated, completely cleared and decimated under the guise of public safety, when actually it's just a bunch of people making some money, following a bureaucracy, and devastating what is left of nature. Your thoughts? Is there something really wrong here? Or am I just naive and I just don't know what I'm talking about? Is this, you know, people are going to be, oh, well, I tread on all the bluebells, oh my God. Treading on all the bluebells coming up, trying to talk about as if running through will make it less of a problem. You know, but like, is this all of this chopping down really necessary? And where does it end? How many more of these trees are coming down? What actually is the plan? Is it a good plan?